Welcome to this exploration of Stoicism and how its ancient wisdom can help us handle disrespect with composure and strength. Have you ever felt the sting of a disrespectful comment or action? In a world where negativity can arise at any moment, it's important to be equipped with tools that help us maintain our inner peace and not be easily disturbed by others' behavior. Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes rationality, self-control, and resilience, offers profound guidance on how to respond to disrespect with grace. By watching this video until the end, you will not only learn practical Stoic strategies for handling disrespect, but also gain insights into how to use these moments as opportunities for personal growth. This is not just about theory. It's a roadmap for everyday life, helping you to transform adversity into a chance to cultivate virtue and wisdom. Let's begin our journey to master our emotions, remain steadfast in the face of negativity, and uphold the virtues that define a life of true fulfillment. Remember, how we respond to disrespect can shape our character far more than the actions of others ever could. So, let us embark on this journey together. 1. Focus on what truly matters. What is it that truly deserves your attention in life? When you encounter disrespect, it can feel like a powerful force that pulls your focus away from your goals, your values, and even your inner peace. But should such behavior from others really hold such power over you? The teachings of Stoicism remind us to direct our energy towards things that align with our purpose and virtues, rather than being swept away by fleeting disturbances. Ask yourself, when someone disrespects me, does it truly change my goals, my values, or the person I strive to be? Stoicism teaches us that only what is within our control is truly worth our attention. Your reaction to disrespect is within your control, while the disrespect itself is not. By channeling your efforts towards what you can change, your response, your focus, and your actions, you reinforce a Stoic mindset that values inner virtue over external events. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle encourages us to recognize that the impact of disrespect is largely determined by our perception of it. If we see it as an obstacle that derails our focus, then it becomes just that. However, if we choose to see it as an opportunity to strengthen our resolve and reaffirm our commitment to our values, it transforms into a stepping stone toward greater self-mastery. Turning away from distraction. Think about the last time someone's disrespect disrupted your peace. Did it benefit you in any way to dwell on the incident? Often, when we give in to the temptation to ruminate on disrespectful behavior, we lose sight of what truly matters, our purpose and personal growth. In Stoicism, there is a strong emphasis on ataraxia, or a state of inner tranquility. When faced with disrespect, it is helpful to ask yourself whether focusing on the slight contributes to your tranquility or disrupts it. Every moment spent fuming over another's words or actions is a moment diverted from living according to your principles. Consider how often we get caught up in arguments or allow our emotions to take control, only to find ourselves further away from our goals. Is it wise to let the opinions of others dictate your state of mind? The Stoic answer is clear. No, it is not wise. Instead, we should redirect our thoughts toward our aspirations, the development of our character, and the pursuit of virtue. By focusing on what truly matters, you maintain the course of your life in accordance with your values. Let disrespect come and go as a passing cloud, for it does not have the power to change the path you walk unless you allow it. Do not grant others the ability to steer you away from your chosen direction. Realigning your focus after disrespect. When disrespect occurs, use it as a cue to realign with your core values. This practice reinforces the Stoic belief in self-control and the dichotomy of control, focusing only on what is within our power to influence. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and ask, what is truly important to me in this moment? How can I use this situation to demonstrate the virtues of patience, humility, and courage? By shifting your attention from the negativity directed at you to the virtues you wish to embody, you are not ignoring the disrespect, but rather placing it in its proper context. It becomes a minor disturbance rather than a significant event. You might find it helpful to remind yourself of the broader picture. In the grand tapestry of life, this incident is but a single thread. Will you allow one thread to dictate the entire pattern? Reflect on Marcus Aurelius's advice in his Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When we truly internalize this teaching, we come to understand that the opinions of others, even when they manifest as disrespect, are not under our control and therefore should not dictate our emotional state. By focusing on what truly matters, you free yourself from the distractions of disrespect and stay on the path of personal growth and virtue. Now that we have explored this fundamental Stoic practice, let's move on to the next powerful technique for dealing with disrespect: setting clear boundaries. 2. Set clear boundaries. When someone repeatedly disrespects you, what does that say about the standards you have set for yourself and others? Setting boundaries is not about controlling others' behavior, but about asserting your own standards for how you expect to be treated. Stoicism encourages us to uphold justice, not just in society but within our personal relationships as well. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect. It involves letting others know that there are limits to what you will accept in terms of behavior, not because you seek to control them, but because you choose to protect your own inner peace. Consider a scenario where you are regularly exposed to disrespect from a colleague or acquaintance. Do you tolerate it silently, or do you calmly and assertively express your expectation for respect? In doing the latter, you are not just reacting to a situation, you are actively shaping the kind of interactions you will allow in your life. The courage to communicate your boundaries. What stops us from setting boundaries? Is it fear of conflict, or perhaps the worry that we may come off as overly demanding? Stoicism reminds us that courage is one of the 4 cardinal virtues. It takes courage to speak up and assert your needs, but this is a necessary step for maintaining self-respect and ensuring that your interactions with others remain dignified. When you set boundaries, you are also demonstrating to others that you value yourself enough to demand respectful treatment. This is not an act of aggression, but of self-preservation. Think about it. If you do not make your expectations known, how can you expect others to treat you in the manner you wish? Sometimes, people are unaware of the impact of their actions, and by communicating your boundaries, you provide them with an opportunity to adjust their behavior. The Stoics believed in justice and fairness, not only as a societal ideal, but also in personal conduct. By setting boundaries, you are upholding justice in your life. You are ensuring that your interactions are not one-sided and that you are not merely a passive recipient of others' behavior. Setting boundaries is a way of asserting your right to be treated fairly, which aligns with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature and reason. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-respect and a vital aspect of maintaining inner tranquility. It is not about controlling others, but about honoring your own dignity. Next, we will explore how practicing forgiveness can release you from the grip of negative emotions caused by disrespect. 3. Practice forgiveness. Is forgiveness a sign of weakness, or is it one of the greatest strengths you can exhibit? When faced with disrespect, it's natural to feel anger, resentment, or even a desire for retaliation. Yet, as followers of Stoicism understand, holding on to such negative emotions does more harm to oneself than to the person who has committed the disrespect. Forgiveness, therefore, is not about condoning the disrespectful act, but about releasing yourself from the emotional burdens that come with it. The freedom that comes from forgiveness. Have you ever considered the weight you carry when you hold a grudge? The Stoic view is that forgiveness liberates you from this burden, allowing you to maintain your focus on what truly matters, your growth, virtues, and inner peace. By choosing to forgive, you are actively deciding to free your mind from the shackles of resentment. This choice does not mean you approve of the disrespect, but rather that you refuse to let it disturb your tranquility. Think about the last time you felt disrespected. How long did you dwell on it? Did it consume your thoughts, affect your mood, or even disrupt your sleep? The Stoic practice of forgiveness teaches us to let go of these disturbances. As Epictetus wisely noted, when someone acts badly towards you, remember that he does or says it, believing it to be his duty. This perspective encourages us to see that others' disrespect often stems from their own ignorance or flawed understanding, rather than any true reflection of our worth. By forgiving, you are not ignoring the offense. You are taking control of your response to it. In forgiving others, you are exercising the Stoic virtue of magnanimity, greatness of soul. A magnanimous person is not easily offended, for they recognize that their peace of mind is far more valuable than the fleeting satisfaction of resentment. Releasing negative emotions. Do you realize how much energy is wasted on harboring anger? In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius writes, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." By practicing forgiveness, you are not only distancing yourself from negative emotions, but also choosing to act in accordance with your higher self. When you forgive, you are not simply letting someone off the hook. Instead, you are acknowledging that the negative behavior of others does not have the power to determine your emotional state. Forgiveness also aligns with the Stoic concept of oikeiosis, the idea of accepting all things as part of a natural order. While it may seem counterintuitive, accepting that disrespect exists in the world is a form of embracing reality. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means recognizing that while you cannot control others' actions, you can certainly control your emotional responses. Choosing forgiveness is choosing freedom. It allows you to rise above the negativity and maintain your inner peace, demonstrating true Stoic strength. Now, let us delve into how changing your perspective can help put disrespect into its proper context. 4. Change your perspective. When disrespect arises, how often do we blow the situation out of proportion? In the heat of the moment, it is easy to see a minor slight as a significant affront. Yet, Stoicism encourages us to step back and gain a broader perspective. How does this incident compare to the entirety of your life, or to the challenges faced by humanity as a whole? Is it worth allowing a small event to disrupt your inner tranquility? Seeing the bigger picture. The Stoics often remind us that our lives are but a small fragment of a much larger universe. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." This advice may seem harsh, but it serves to remind us of the transient nature of life. When we adopt a cosmic perspective, we can see that most acts of disrespect are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Ask yourself, in 5 years, will this moment still hold any significance? Or even in 5 weeks? Shifting your perspective allows you to put disrespect into its rightful place, as a minor inconvenience rather than a life-altering event. This shift does not diminish your feelings, but places them within a broader context where they can be managed rationally. The power of reframing. Have you ever considered reframing disrespect as an opportunity for growth? When someone disrespects you, it can be tempting to see yourself as a victim. However, The Stoic approach would be to view this as a chance to strengthen your character and test your virtues. When you change your perspective, you no longer see disrespect as a personal attack, but as a situation that can be used to demonstrate resilience, self-control, and wisdom. In his letters, Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How often do we let our minds exaggerate the significance of disrespect? By reframing our perspective, we remind ourselves that our interpretation of events is what truly matters. Disrespect becomes a minor challenge that you can overcome rather than an overwhelming problem that dictates your mood. Changing your perspective places disrespect in its proper context, allowing you to respond with calm and wisdom. Now, let's explore how humor can be an unexpected but powerful tool in dealing with negative encounters. 5. Use humor to diffuse tension. How can humor help you handle disrespect? It may seem like a surprising strategy, but humor can transform the energy of a situation, catching the other person off guard and easing the tension. When used thoughtfully, humor can serve as a subtle form of defiance, showing that you are not easily unsettled by others' behavior. The wisdom in lightheartedness. Is it possible that we take ourselves too seriously, especially when dealing with disrespect? The Stoic sage recognizes that while dignity is important, maintaining a lighthearted approach to life helps us avoid unnecessary suffering. A witty remark or playful gesture in response to a rude comment can demonstrate emotional resilience. You show that your sense of self-worth is not dependent on the approval of others. Consider the ancient example of Diogenes the Cynic, who often used humor to expose the absurdities of societal norms. While he was not strictly a Stoic, his philosophy shares similarities with Stoicism, particularly in his disregard for social conventions. When a disrespectful person seeks to provoke you, using humor can disarm them and redirect the course of the interaction. It shifts the focus from conflict to levity, often revealing the futility of the initial insult. Laughing in the face of adversity. When was the last time you responded to a challenging situation with laughter? Stoicism teaches that by detaching from our initial emotional response, we can see the humor even in difficult circumstances. Imagine responding to a rude remark with, "You must have mistaken me for someone who cares about that." Such a response, delivered with a smile, conveys that you are above petty disputes. Humor does not mean you are ignoring the issue or pretending it doesn't matter. It means you are choosing to meet adversity with a mindset that reduces its power over you. As Marcus Aurelius suggested, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Humor helps you lower that estimate. Humor is a tool that allows you to rise above disrespect with grace and poise. It can transform conflict into a lighter moment, making it easier to navigate. Up next, we will discuss the importance of pausing and breathing before reacting to disrespect. 6. Pause and breathe before reacting. In moments of disrespect, what is your immediate reaction? Often, our first impulse is to defend ourselves or retaliate, but this rarely leads to a positive outcome. One of the simplest yet most powerful Stoic practices is to pause and take a breath before reacting. This moment of stillness allows reason to take control over emotion. Why pausing matters. Why do we react so quickly to disrespect? Is it because our pride is wounded, or because we fear appearing weak? The Stoic principle of prohairesis, or the ability to choose our response, emphasizes the importance of not reacting impulsively. By pausing and taking a breath, we create a gap between the stimulus, the disrespect, and our response, allowing us to regain composure. The next time you feel the sting of a rude comment, try this. Pause, breathe deeply, and reflect on the nature of the incident. Does it truly deserve an immediate response, Or is it better to wait until you can react calmly? When you take a breath, you are signaling to yourself that you are in control of your reaction. You are not a slave to your emotions. Cultivating self-control. Is it possible that the ability to pause could be the key to mastering our emotions? The Stoics believed so. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." When we practice pausing before reacting, we strengthen our capacity for self-control. This simple act of taking a breath can prevent a situation from escalating and allows us to respond from a place of reason. Consider the benefits of pausing not just for yourself, but for the dynamics of the interaction. A measured response is often disarming, leaving the person who disrespected you uncertain of how to proceed. They may even reconsider their behavior in light of your composed reaction. Pausing and breathing creates space for reason, preventing impulsive reactions and leading to a more thoughtful response. Let us now discuss the power of self-reflection when faced with disrespect. 7. Self-reflect on the situation. When someone disrespects you, do you immediately dismiss their actions as unjustified, or do you take a moment to reflect? It is natural to feel hurt, angry, or even defensive when we are disrespected, but Stoicism teaches that self-reflection is a valuable practice that can help us grow from any situation. The key is to view disrespect as an opportunity for introspection, rather than merely an affront to your dignity. The power of self-examination. Are you willing to look inward and ask yourself whether there is any truth to the criticism or disrespect? While it is easy to dismiss someone's rude behavior as unworthy of your consideration, taking the time to reflect on the situation can reveal areas for improvement that you may not have noticed otherwise. This does not mean accepting unwarranted or malicious behavior, but rather using the experience as a mirror to evaluate your own actions, thoughts, and responses. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The most disgraceful kind of loss is that due to carelessness." In the context of disrespect, carelessness could mean failing to recognize our own role in the interaction. Could it be that the person's behavior was a reaction to something you did, even if unintentionally? Or perhaps there was a misunderstanding that escalated the situation. By examining our behavior honestly, we can gain insights that help us avoid similar situations in the future. Embracing the opportunity for growth. What if disrespect could be turned into a learning experience? In Stoicism, every encounter is viewed as an opportunity for growth. When faced with disrespect, consider asking yourself, what can I learn from this? Could I have communicated more clearly? Did I respond in a way that aligned with my values? These questions allow you to turn negative experiences into valuable lessons. Imagine a scenario where a colleague criticizes your work in a harsh manner. Your first reaction may be to dismiss their tone or even become defensive. However, by reflecting on the substance of their criticism, you might find that there is a kernel of truth that could help you improve. The Stoics advocated for the continuous pursuit of wisdom, and this includes learning from all experiences, even those wrapped in negativity. Remember, self-reflection is not about self-blame or allowing others to dictate your self-worth. It is about using every situation as a stepping stone toward becoming a better version of yourself. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his own thoughts and behaviors in his meditations, reminding himself to act according to reason and virtue. Can you do the same when confronted with disrespect? Self-reflection transforms disrespect from a negative encounter into an opportunity for growth. By examining your own behavior, you gain insights that strengthen your character. Let's now explore how practicing active listening can reveal underlying concerns and help de-escalate tense situations. 8. Practice active listening. When faced with disrespect, is your first instinct to shut down or fire back a retort? Active listening is often the last thing we think of doing when we feel disrespected, but it can be one of the most effective tools for diffusing a tense situation. By choosing to listen instead of reacting defensively, you can gain a better understanding of the other person's perspective, even if it is wrapped in disrespect. Why active listening matters. Why should you listen to someone who is being disrespectful? Stoicism teaches that understanding the root cause of a person's behavior can reveal deeper issues that go beyond the disrespect itself. Could their behavior be a manifestation of frustration, stress, or personal struggles? While this does not excuse disrespect, it provides a context that allows you to approach the situation with more empathy and less animosity. Active listening means paying attention not only to the words spoken, but also to the underlying emotions and motivations behind those words. Ask yourself, what is the person really trying to communicate? Are they venting frustration about something unrelated? Or is there a legitimate grievance hidden beneath the surface? By focusing on understanding rather than immediately judging, you demonstrate the Stoic virtues of patience and wisdom, turning a negative interaction into a constructive dialogue. Can an act of disrespect become a doorway to a more meaningful conversation? When you practice active listening, you create space for constructive dialogue. This does not mean accepting disrespectful behavior passively, but rather choosing to respond thoughtfully. When you listen actively, you show the other person that you are willing to hear their concerns, which can, in turn, diffuse their defensiveness and open the door to a more respectful exchange. Consider a situation where someone dismisses your ideas rudely in a meeting. Instead of responding with equal rudeness, you might say, "I hear that you have concerns about my proposal. Can you explain what specifically you disagree with?" This approach invites the person to elaborate on their position, shifting the dynamic from confrontation to collaboration. It also shows that you are focused on finding a solution rather than being entangled in a personal conflict. Epictetus advised, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." By applying this principle, you not only show respect for others, even when they do not show it to you, but you also cultivate your own ability to remain composed and open-minded under pressure. Active listening transforms disrespectful encounters into opportunities for understanding and constructive dialogue. By truly hearing the other person, you can address the underlying issues that may be contributing to their behavior. Now, let's discuss the importance of avoiding escalation when confronted with disrespect. 9. Avoid escalation. When someone disrespects you, how often do you find yourself escalating the situation with a retaliatory comment or action? It is a natural impulse to defend your honor, but responding to disrespect with more disrespect only perpetuates a cycle of negativity. Stoicism teaches that the wise person seeks to de-escalate conflict rather than fuel it. The cost of escalation. What is truly gained by retaliating when someone disrespects you? More often than not, escalation leads to heated arguments, damaged relationships, and emotional turmoil. The Stoic perspective invites us to consider whether engaging in such conflicts is a productive use of our energy. Would it not be wiser to choose a response that diffuses the tension rather than heightening it? Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. By choosing not to escalate, you break the chain of hostility. You show that you are not controlled by the actions of others, but are instead guided by your principles and virtues." This approach does not mean allowing yourself to be a doormat. Rather, it means responding with dignity and grace, even when others do not. De-escalating with composure. Is it possible to remain composed even in the heat of a confrontation? Practicing Stoicism involves cultivating the ability to pause and consider the consequences of your actions before responding. If you respond to disrespect with calmness and measured words, you set a tone that often disarms the other person. They may expect an argument or a defensive reaction, but your calm demeanor can shift the dynamics and lead to a more peaceful resolution. In practical terms, avoiding escalation could mean responding to a rude comment with a neutral statement such as, "I understand that you're upset, but let's try to discuss this constructively." This type of response redirects the focus from personal attacks to problem solving. It acknowledges the other person's feelings without condoning their disrespectful behavior, keeping the conversation grounded. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of equanimity, or maintaining a steady mind regardless of external circumstances. When you avoid escalation, you are practicing equanimity by choosing to remain unaffected by provocations. This not only protects your peace of mind, but also demonstrates strength of character. Avoiding escalation shows that you are not swayed by others' negativity and are capable of maintaining your composure. Next, let's look at how maintaining confidence can help you handle disrespect with poise and resilience. 10. Maintain your confidence. How does disrespect impact your self-esteem? It is easy to let the words and actions of others shake your confidence, but Stoicism teaches that true self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. Maintaining confidence in the face of disrespect is about knowing your own value and refusing to let others diminish it. The source of true confidence. What defines your self-worth? Is it the opinions of others, or is it the principles and virtues you hold dear? The Stoics believed that confidence should stem from one's character and actions, not from the approval or disapproval of others. When you are confident in your own worth, you are less likely to be affected by disrespect. You understand that the behavior of others says more about them than it does about you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. This principle applies to our sense of confidence as well. If we allow others' disrespect to lower our self-esteem, we are giving them power over our own state of mind. Instead, focus on cultivating inner confidence that remains unshaken regardless of external circumstances. Responding to disrespect with self-assurance. Do you let disrespect dictate how you feel about yourself? The Stoic response would be to maintain your confidence, showing that your self-esteem is rooted in something far more stable than the opinions of others. When you encounter disrespect, remind yourself of your accomplishments, values, and virtues. These are the true markers of your worth, not the fleeting judgments of others. Maintaining confidence does not mean ignoring feedback or criticism. It means filtering out what is genuinely useful from what is merely hurtful. When someone disrespects you, ask yourself whether there is any constructive element in their words that can help you grow. If not, then let their disrespect pass over you like the wind, affecting you as little as possible. A Stoic practice to reinforce confidence is daily reflection. Each day, take a few moments to acknowledge your strengths and the virtues you embody. This self-reflection serves as a reminder of your true worth, grounding your confidence in qualities that cannot be taken away by others' actions. Maintaining confidence in the face of disrespect reinforces your inner strength, reminding you that your self-worth is derived from your character, not external judgments. We have now covered the 10 Stoic practices for handling disrespect with grace, wisdom, and resilience. As we conclude this journey through the 10 Stoic tips for dealing with disrespect, I hope these practices have provided you with valuable insights and practical strategies to navigate challenging encounters. Remember, Stoicism is not just a philosophy to be studied. It is a way of life that encourages continuous growth and the pursuit of virtue. Now, I would like to hear from you. Have you ever used any of these Stoic principles in your daily life? Which of these practices do you find most challenging to implement, and why? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, and would like to continue exploring Stoicism with us, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us bring more Stoic wisdom to those who seek it. Thank you for joining me on this path to a more resilient and virtuous life. Stay Stoic, stay strong, and keep growing.